Tanzu Spring App Advisor is a tool that is part of Spring for automated scanning and updates to your Spring projects. What I have here is an example Spring project, Spring Pet Clinic, that is using a very old version of Java, Java 11, as well as an old version of Spring Boot and Spring Framework, here 2.7.3. And all of these dependencies will be older versions here. You can look at the Spring website to see that the 2.7 branch of Spring went out of open source support nearly 2 years ago. We do still offer enterprise long-term support for it, but here today what I want to do is show automated upgrading of my Spring project here. So I want to update this to a later version of Java and a later version of Spring, the latest GA versions. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to first build out the scan to see what all my dependencies are and what should be the upgrade plan. So this first step will scan this. I'm telling it to use Gradle here. It also works with Maven. And this will build out a report of all of my dependencies just based on my Gradle file. From here, I can go ahead and print out the plan. So we can do upgrade plan git, and this will go ahead and display all the steps that are going to need to be done to upgrade this project. So the first one will be upgrading from Java 11 to 17, and then we can start to upgrade Spring Boot from the 2.7 branch to the 3.x branch, and Spring Framework from the 5.x to the 6.x branch, and so on through different versions of Spring Boot. So let me go ahead and make that first upgrade here on my local developer laptop, just so you can see what that actually looks like. We will go ahead and apply that, again using Gradle. And this will just take a couple seconds, maybe a minute, to go ahead and make this upgrade. The first step is going from Java 11 to Java 17. All right, it's made that upgrade. We can go ahead, I will pull this back up in code so we can just graphically see that upgrade. This one's a pretty simple one. We're going from 11 to 17 and making a minor dependency change here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a straightforward git commit upgrade to Java 17, and we will do a git push. Now this is excellent that I can do this on my developer laptop, but really where this gains traction is doing it in your CI system as part of your continuous integration. So I'm going to move over to GitHub here. So I have my code in GitHub, and I have GitHub Actions here. So two things are going to happen here. First off, I want to continue to use my continuous integration. So in this case, this is going to run the build, run my JUnit local tests, and make sure that the project is still working. So I want to make sure that this modification hasn't broken anything. So we'll go ahead and let this finish. It's a pretty quick build and test. All right, so we know the change hasn't broken anything. The other piece that this is going to do, so I've integrated Spring App Advisor into my GitHub action. So in this case, I have it triggered every time there is a commit or a pull request. And this is going to kick off the next run of Spring Application Advisor. So again, it's going to scan my code looking at the dependencies. It is going to generate the build plan. And you'll notice here, we've already done what was the first step of 11 to 17 for Java. So now the next step is to upgrade the Spring versions. So we'll give this a couple of minutes to run. I will fast forward to when this has completed, and we will see what it has done. All right, this has completed. It has made the upgrade. And the way that it has done it is it will have actually created a pull request. So this is a much more proper flow here. So it has created a branch. It has created a pull request. And this one has made a lot of changes. So it's not just, one change to the build.gradle, but you can see here in our build.gradle to start with, it has gone from Spring Boot 2.7 to 3.x. It has changed a number of other dependencies, but it has then gone through and made the code changes based on our enterprise recipes to modify this to make the other changes. I won't go through all of them, but one of the biggest one was the package renaming from Java X to Jakarta. So you'll see it went through a large number of files here, made those changes, changed some annotations that have updated, etc. So it's not just changing the build config, but it is actually changing any code that it needs to as well. So here, I'll go back to this pull request. Let's say I like this, so I will go ahead and merge the pull request, confirm that we can get rid of that old branch, and then this starts the whole process over again. So if we look at our actions, we are going to run our CI, which will again build the project, run the tests. That way we are making sure that this is appropriate and not breaking things. And it's going to kick off that next round, that next step in our upgrades. I'll go ahead and fast forward here just to when that completes so we can see the next version, but it'll be the same thing, just incrementally upgrading the Spring versions. And this has completed the actual upgrade. So it's applied the upgrade, it's created the branch, it's submitted the pull request. Now this workflow is just doing its cleanup, but we can come back and look at the actions. As I said, it's finishing its cleanup, but the continuous integration has finished testing the previous one as well. So we know that's successful. And then same thing, we have a new pull request. In this case, it is bumping the minor versions here. We can see the files change. We can go ahead and merge in this pull request and continue the process. Eventually, we'll get to the point where there are no more changes to make, and we're good until the next version comes out, and then this would kick in again. So, thank you. That's been the demo of Tanzu Spring Application Advisor.